I see it says live.
We're live.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Welcome to the Mole Report.
Yes, everybody welcome. We're so glad to see you here, and we have an exciting show planned today. So I'm Sarah Lawrence, and the other co-host of the Mole Report is Katrina Houston. And we plan on introducing a special guest today who's going to teach us a lot, has a great story to tell. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Katrina to introduce our guest today.
Yes, like Sarah said, today we are fortunate enough to be able to have the one and only Kyle Isaacs. He is also a fellow YCR, like Sarah and I, a young clinical rep, and that's how we met. Now, I don't know about Sarah, but I came on as a YCR August 2015. And Kyle, when did you start?
I think it was the spring of 2015.
Okay, and Sarah?
It was May of last year.
Okay, so I've been friends with Kyle, I feel like on Facebook friends, I think really since the beginning. So I really got the opportunity to watch her grow and blossom into just a fabulous human that I'm so happy to know. And I remember watching Kyle doing like Beachbody videos on Facebook. She's been killing it forever. So Kyle, thank you so much for being here with us. And
thank you.
Viewers are so excited to have you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate that and all you guys do for our profession.
Absolutely.
Keep on doing it.
So I also wanted to mention that Kyle is one of the 4 recipients of the SunStar Award of Distinction Award. So Kyle, tell us a little bit about how you won that award.
Well, every year SunStar picks 4 dental hygienists from the U.S. and Canada. And I keep seeing people saying, hi everyone. Thanks for being here. And those 4 are either chosen because of something they've done for the profession or for the education of dental hygiene or patients' community service. And so mine was for community service. And did you want me to go into more detail about why?
No, you know what? No, we can do that a little bit later. So
okay, great.
Obviously Kyle loves to give back and do things like that. Well, why don't you start out by telling us how you even came into dentistry?
You would say that I was born into it. My dad's a retired dentist. My mother is a retired dental hygienist. My brother is a dentist.
Oh,
wow. My sisters have nothing to do with dentistry. And so I just thought I'll give it a try.
Did she freeze?
Am I frozen?
I can see her.
And
Kyle.
Yeah.
Can you
hear me? Yeah.
Okay. Well, we lost Katrina. But you're still here?
I'm still here.
Okay. We'll wait for her to come back. I think she's going to work on that. There she is.
There.
No.
No, you're there, Katrina.
Kyle. Maybe if she gets back in the link.
You can just keep going.
Okay. So, yes, I was born into it. I've been a dental hygienist since I was 21 years old. I was very young when I went to dental hygiene school. All
right, so we're going to get our guest back on. And for our viewers. Hi, guys. For some reason, I can't see the comments. Sarah, can you see the comments?
Yes. Can you see me?
I can see you, but I can't see any of the comments on here.
I can.
I can see the comments, and I can hear Kyle.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I cannot hear Kyle.
So,
all right, Deanne says she can see me, and Nancy and Charlotte, they all said they can see me.
What if Kyle tries to get out and get back in?
Katrina, I think it might be something on your end. I think everybody can see us and hear Kyle. I think
really?
the person that
Uh-huh.
you see.
Okay.
So part of what we promised at the very beginning of the Mueller report was we were going to do this journey and be transparent and open, that it's not ever perfect. And because we are utilizing this new platform, there are bound to be issues like this. So just bear with us. You guys are awesome. You guys have always been supportive of that. So when you go live, that's a risk that you take. And especially when we have 3 different internet connections and it just happens. So thank you guys for hanging out and going through this with us. So what we'll probably do, Katrina, if that's okay, we'll just continue with Kyle since everybody's on.
Okay.
Or what do you guys think?
Yeah. So since I can't see any of the comments or Kyle, is everybody saying that they can see Kyle and hear her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to have to ask the questions then because I can't.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll just keep going. Katrina, maybe you could try to open up the Facebook group and watch it from there, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just go ahead and continue. So Kyle, continue if you don't mind we were talking about your family history, so we'll just kind of take over
Sure.
from there.
Yeah, so I decided, because it was part of my family and I just decided to do it. I love working with my hands and helping people, so it seemed kind of like a great combination. And I've loved it. 35 years I've been a dental hygienist.
That's awesome. Okay, so that kind of leads us into our next question, which is, what is your passion and what journey have you taken to get there? Which leads us into kind of what you're doing now and what you'd like to share about your career that you've chosen.
So believe it or not, I am a shy person, and now that I'm doing speaking, it seems odd for anybody to ever think that I was ever shy. I'm still a little bit shy, but not as much. It only took me over 50 years to get to here. I worked in private practice for many, many years, and there was something that kept nagging at me. What about all the people who weren't able to get care? So then before I moved to Oregon 4 years ago, I thought about becoming an RDH AP, which is an alternative practice in California. And I finished my bachelor's degree, and I thought I was going to do that. And then we decided to move. So when we moved here, luckily here in Oregon, you can get an expanded practice permit and see patients without a dentist. So I did that. It took me 6 months here to actually find a dental hygiene clinical job, which I didn't like at all. It was a corporate, not that all corporate offices are bad, but they didn't really care about me or the patients. They just cared about money. So I worked there just to make some money while I was building my business. I started my mobile dental hygiene business in May of 2014, and with one patient, and just kept building from there. I don't have a ton of patients, but I work in a lot of different for a lot of different people, and I can explain that too. So I was passionate about all these people who weren't able to get care, and that pushed me to build my business and do a whole bunch of other things. And that was all. It started in California, but my move pushed me to do it a little faster than I expected. And because of that, I actually ended up writing my first article for RDH magazine in March of 2015. And that was, oh yes, Anne said the dismay of corporate. Yes, I hear you on that. So where was I? Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. So yes, so starting to work in public health showed me how many people really weren't getting care, and sometimes it can be daunting. It can be exciting. If you help one person, you've made a difference. Oh, yes. So I wrote my first article, and that was because I had reached out to Debbie Z as a mentor, and she is awesome. And she suggested I write my first article. And I thought, there's no way I can write an article. I was the type of kid growing up that I just wanted to go outside and climb trees and run around and play. And reading and writing, those were not my strengths. So when she said that, I thought, no way, I couldn't do it. But I wrote it, I sent it to Mark, and he really liked it. It was about how to find work in a time and a place when there weren't very many jobs. And just yesterday, I found out he's going to publish my 9th article, so I'm really excited about that. And that ties into the skilled nursing, long-term care facilities, the people who aren't able to access care. That will be coming out in April. So I'm really excited about that because I have some information in there to help people get out of their comfort zone and to get into some of these facilities, because I know there are a lot of people who want to do that. So I'm here to help with that. So I have a whole bunch more stuff I can talk about, but do you have another question? Or
no, I think that's great. Yeah. So we just want to hear from you. So it's your journey, it's your story, and if however you want to continue, that's kind of what our report is. We want to just bring out what all these great leaders in dentistry are doing, share their story, and to offer inspiration to everybody else, just like what you're doing, saying, hey, I didn't think I could do this, but what.
Right. Oops, now I can't hear you, Sarah. Hi, Lori Berger. Yes, I can help you with that. But I can't hear Sarah or Katrina. Can you talk? I can't hear anything. Oh, there you are. Okay, now I can hear. So I want to tell everybody that you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yay.
I'm here. I just muted myself because I can hear Kyle. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Katrina. Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Can you hear me, Lori? Lori Berger? She just said she can't hear you guys. But when I moved here 4 years ago, I was a dental hygienist who worked clinically, and that was it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Kyle.
Okay, great.
What's happening here?
And so whatever your passion is, I strongly recommend reach out to someone. Reach out to anybody, a mentor, anybody. I'm approachable. Reach out to me. Find someone who can support you on your journey. And okay, great, Dan. Thank you. And never doubt, because you can do anything you want to do. Before I moved here, I'd never published an article. I didn't know anything about owning a business. I just went to a dental office, a private dental office, and I was passionate about helping my patients. So I had that passion about helping people. By reaching out to Debbie, I learned that I could do way more than I ever thought. And don't worry if you're older. How old am I now? I was 52 when I moved to Oregon without a job. And in the last 4 years, I've done more in my career than I've ever did in the 31 other years. So never think it's too late.
That's awesome. So Charlotte had a good idea, since we're having some technical difficulties, is how do you feel about maybe just doing a question and answer session right now? I knew that was going to be towards the end of our not presentation, but interview, but with maybe that might be appropriate at this point. Okay. How do you feel about that?
That's fine. Whatever you guys want, I'm here for you.
Yeah, maybe we'll just do a question and answer. Is there anything that you want to talk about as far as a little bit more detail about what you do with your,
Sure.
when you're going mobile?
All right. So the other thing I want to say is when I moved here, I decided I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes to a lot of things. So in addition to starting my own business, I became a YCR, which is the Young Clinical Rep, and I had that 4-day-a-week job. And I joined the local component, and then now I'm on the board for the Oregon Dental Hygiene Association. And I figured if I could get more experience doing a lot of different things, that would make me more well-rounded. Because I think what happens is when you work clinically as a dental hygienist, either in private practice or in a traditional setting, you you kind of feel like that's all you can do. You go in, you can take x-rays, and you review the health history, and you scale, and you do scaling and root planing, and you're kind of like, I see it as not really narrow-minded, but for me, it felt like that's who I was. I was a dental hygienist that went and saw patients, and then I went home. And I loved what I did, and I cared about my patients, but I didn't feel like I knew anything else. I never thought I could, write an article or start my own business. So by doing all these other little things, I saw that I had so much more to offer, and I know everybody else does too. Not to say that being a clinical dental hygienist, if there's anything bad or not good enough about that, but what it does is, yeah, hi Jen. It just makes you feel like you don't know how to do anything else. So I highly recommend starting with something little, and it could be as little as volunteering. It could be, go to a nursing home and volunteer. Even if you just sit and hold someone's hand, that is huge. Even if it has nothing to do with dentistry. Join your local component and get some skills that way. And I don't know if you can see, but Jen is saying hi. Hi, Jen. And I hope you're okay with me saying this. When I won my award at Under One Roof, Jen came up to me. We were at the Sunstar booth at the exhibit hall, and she said, hi, I wanted to come up to you, but I was really nervous about doing it. And I'm so glad she did, because Jen and I have become friends, and she's going to come out here to Oregon and shadow me when I go out and do my mobile dental hygiene. Yay. Okay. And I just want you guys to know that I am approachable. I am just like everybody else. I'm just motivated, determined, and not willing to give up. So sometimes the road is hard. Surround yourself with people who can help lift you up. Don't give up, and know that you're going to have some hard days. The other thing I want to say is my husband has been one of my big supporters, and I have looked to him as someone who, if it doesn't work, he figures out how to make it work. And that has been a really, really huge for me, because in the past, I would never have thought I was able to do any of this stuff that I've done. So I am definitely really passionate about going to these nursing homes, skilled nursing homes. I go to the veterans home, adult foster care homes, all these different places where people are unable to get dental care. Sometimes it's really, really tough, because I see people in very terrible health. Their oral status is really bad. Multiple broken teeth, multiple teeth broken down to the gum line, advanced periodontal disease, rampant caries, and they're just lying in bed with a ton of bacteria just swarming in their mouths. And it's really hard sometimes. Sometimes I wonder what kind of an effect am I having, and I felt that way yesterday. And my husband said, well, you're doing way more than if you didn't go. Okay, there's a message there. It says from Molar Report, how did you figure out your passion? Is that you guys, or?
That's from Katrina, since she's not able to.
Oh, okay. Got it. I just, for a long time, knew in the back of my head there were a whole bunch of people that weren't able to access care either because they didn't have the money or they couldn't go. And then in California, like I said, I was going to do that RDHAP, and then coming here, that path was actually easier. It's a lot easier to become expanded practice, and so I knew there were people here doing it, and for the first couple of years I was here, they had an expanded practice conference, and I attended, and that helped me to see, because I knew there were other people who were doing it, that, oh, wow, I can do that too. So I'm actually passionate about helping anyone. It could be children, it could be the elderly, it could be people from other countries who don't speak the language or are not documented. Anybody. I'm just passionate about helping the underserved. And I don't know, I think I've always been that way. For me, wanting to help people. I asked my mom about that, and she said, yeah, you've always been that way. And I didn't realize that when I was young. But I'm just love to help people. And I think the first time you do it, I can tell you, my very first time I went to a nursing home, and I guess I get kind of like right now, I can feel it tingly. I went and saw this woman, and she was lying in her bed. And as soon as I started taking care of her, it was like a spiritual experience for me. It was really exciting that I could be visiting her. I was touching her, and not just physically, but emotionally. And I just could not believe it. It makes me teary-eyed right now thinking about it. And I get time to visit with these people. I mean, I don't visit for a couple of hours, but I get to look in their eyes, and I get to, just like take a breath. I can hold their hand. It's so different than in clinical dentistry, where, you're on that clock, and, it's go, 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 go. You know what I mean, right? So, oh, thank you, Charlotte. I feel the same right now. But if anybody ever gets a chance to go and brush someone's teeth, take care of them, you'll feel the same way. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I hate the clock too, Anne. So I don't have to deal with that at all. I went yesterday, and I saw 4 patients. The first one, he's developmentally, intellectually disabled, and I've seen him about 4 times now. They're always surprised that he gets in my chair, and usually he lasts about 30 minutes. When he's done, and I never get to finish. And as dental hygienists, that's a really tough thing for us. And I've had to deal with, I can't do it all because I can only do what he can tolerate. Yesterday, he lasted 45 minutes. I could not believe it. And I got a lot more done than I usually do. And it warms my heart that he will even lie in my chair and let me work on him. Mm-hmm. Then I went to see a patient I hadn't seen before, and this gentleman has dementia. He was swearing at me, and I told him who I was. He says, oh, no, I don't believe that. You're not a dentist. Well, maybe he's 80 years old. Maybe he's in his 20, maybe he's 20 years old, 50 years ago. What was that? Maybe he thinks that women couldn't do this kind of thing. I don't know. At one time he put his hand up and he says, I'm going to hit you. And I said, well, I don't want you to hit me because that will hurt. So I had to keep trying to change the subject. And then he said, you're talking too much. And I said, okay, I won't talk. But it was constant like that. And I didn't get to do very much with him. But maybe I made a difference in his day. I don't know. And it can be a little upsetting. But, maybe nobody visits him. Maybe that's his only time he gets a visitor. And then I went to see another patient, and she was great, no problems. And then my fourth one, it's very sad. She has a lot of paranoia and thinks that if I clean her teeth, if she bleeds, she's not going to make new blood. And so it's a very challenging. So sometimes all I can do is brush their teeth, and maybe that's all I can do. It's always trying to think about how I can make it work. What else can I say differently that they're going to it's going to be okay for them.
Oh, we lost Kyle.
Okay, it said I was in the lobby. Now I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's
I
okay.
think that might have accidentally been me.
So it sounds like, Kyle, like you, first of all, you're an amazing person, as they already know. But you
Oh,
wear many hats, and it can be exhausting, I'm sure, at times, trying to go from one situation to another and try to remember, oh yeah, this person likes this, or this person doesn't do well with that, and trying to keep all of that, because you are a person that likes to please people because of your very caring heart. And I'm sure that can be a little bit exhausting at times. What do you do to kind of re-energize yourself, or to stay balanced when dealing with those situations quite often?
well, like Katrina said earlier, I I'm not a Beachbody coach anymore, but I do the workouts almost every, and I meditate every day, and that really helps. Even
Awesome.
just like for 12 minutes. Um, I don't know. I think just doing this kind of work gives me more than I give.
Mm-hmm.
It there's something about it that just lights me up. When I go to the schools and I do sealants, I just feel so excited that I can go and do that, because you're making a difference. Even though you see rampant decay, even though you see kids who are scared, I feel like if I can get them in my chair, if I don't do anything, if they feel more comfortable, then I've done something. So I don't know, I get more out of it. But exercise, I do eat healthy. Um, Jen, you are like one of my biggest cheerleaders, and I can't wait for you to come to visit. She's coming in March. Um, um, and then the exercise really helps. Oh, hi, Memory. I love seeing all these. I love having you guys all here. This is so awesome. But yeah, exercise really helps. And one of the ones I do. So yesterday was really a hard day also, because physically I had to lean over 4 beds, and that's hard on your body. So one of my greatest favorite exercises is the Payo, which is inspired by Pilates and yoga. And I just started having I had a massage last month, and I'm going to try to do that monthly. I think that's going to really help with leaning over beds and such. But I do make sure that I have all the CNAs move people as close to me as possible. I try to set it up as ergonomically the best that I can when I'm there. And so far, so good. Yeah, thank you.
So, if you don't mind, I know part of the interest in what you're doing is how you use silver diamine fluoride.
Okay, yeah.
So, I know that you are going to be teaching a little bit like a continuing education course in the future. So, we can't give away everything. But if you just want to talk about how you utilize it in your setting and when it's appropriate for you, and how you kind of go about that. And feel free to go in as in-depth or stay on the outside as much as you want. It's up to you on how you want to tell your story.
Okay, great. So I started using silver diamine fluoride in the spring of 2016, so going on almost 2 years. And I first learned about it from Dr. Steve Duffin. He is in Kaiser, Oregon, which is just north of Salem. And he is an amazing pioneer of using it. He started using it in 2006 as, yes, Jen, He used a silver nitrate with the fluoride varnish. He did a lot of research and found that more than 80 years ago, when the turn of the century, early 1900s, Dr. G.V. Black was using it, and it was amazing at stopping decay. It's easy, it's cheap, and it works. So I have all these patients who either can't see a dentist or it's going to be a while. I use it a little bit more outside the box than maybe you would in a traditional dental office, although you can use it in a lot of ways there too, because I do it on broken teeth. I do it on teeth broken down to the gum line. I do it on the margins of crowns, which you can do in anywhere. Oh, great! That's great to hear that, Anne. She has a doctor that uses it a lot. It's great for sensitivity, but it's a game changer for me since I'm not a dentist and I can't do fillings, to be able to offer something to my patients to help stop the decay process. I just have to switch my legs here. And I have been taking photos before and after so that I can use that in my presentations. And I also attended a second lecture by Dr. Duffin last year, and then another doctor here in Oregon, Dr. John Fricella, one of his lectures. And then all these doctors have been really supportive of me in helping to share my experiences and answer my questions. I have not been able to use, thank you, Tricia. I have not been able to use it in the schools yet, and consent is probably the biggest problem. So one of the things I must say is that I don't want to call it nagging, but I am, I keep bringing it up.
You're persistent.
Being the squeaky wheel, being persistent, whatever I can do to, oh, Stephanie, yes, I'm going to be speaking at UOR in August in Washington, D.C. I'm going to be speaking on SMART, so the silver modified art. So I hope you can come. So I am being the squeaky wheel because these kids need it. I get them in my chair. I'm like, I wish I could put silver diamine fluoride on them. They need it. Yes, Jen, persistence. That is, I am very persistent and determined. So there are places right now I'm not doing it, which I wish I could. Yay, Stephanie, she's going to come to UOR. You can use it in so many different ways. It does not have to be on just incipient caries lesions. You can do it interproximally, and I'm going to have a video that I'll show you how to do that when you come to my course. You can do it on the elderly who get those root caries. Let's see what else. You can do it on patients who might not be able to afford care. Silver diamine fluoride can be the end all. You don't have to put a filling on. You can, and we'll talk more about that. Glass ionomers with the silver diamine fluoride are awesome, and I'll talk more about that at my course as well. Let's see. It's about 60 cents a drop. They have the blue one now, which is really cool, and I've been using that. You can treat a whole mouth with silver diamine fluoride in one visit. You can't do that with traditional dentistry. It treats the disease and not the symptoms.
Yeah, we use that in our pediatric office, the silver diamine fluoride, and for us, we use it in the same sort of ways as you're talking about, but we also sometimes just use it so we can get that child to a little bit older age to where they will be more cooperative and more tolerant of treatment. So it's not one and done for us a lot of times, but it gets us to where we need to be, it buys us a little bit more time until they're just a little bit older to maybe where we can
Right.
do treatment. So,
And you, okay, I don't remember what it was, Jen, but maybe you can tell me later. But you can just do the silver diamine fluoride, and then, the average cost per tooth. So you mean like the fees, how much you charge? I think that's what she means.
Yeah.
So when you do it and you use the code 1354, you have to put it each tooth individually, and you could just do one fee. When I do it, I do one fee for my patients. I only charge $25 for my application because I don't want to. I want it to just be something that I can easily have them afford. Some offices will charge $25 a tooth, some $35 a tooth, but it's way better than having general anesthesia. And it doesn't take as long. It doesn't cost very much money for an office to do it. I'm just trying to think about what I want to talk about now and what I want to save for later. But you can just do the applications and nothing else, and it works. So it really depends too on what the parents want. So I've heard of people charging $35 a tooth, $50 a tooth. So it varies. I charge $25 if I'm there already doing my hygiene services. And if I have to go and see a patient, then I'll charge $50, which is very reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm really excited that I get to do it. And I'm really excited to share my experiences and how to do it with all the other dental hygienists. And I'm hoping to inspire everybody to inspire taking it back to their offices. So the insurance. So some insurances are covering it. I know here in Oregon, the Oregon Health Plan, which is our Medicaid, is covering it for twice a year. That's not ideal. After you get your initial caries arrest, then twice a year is fine. But initially, you might need to see the patient more often. If the insurance does not cover it, eventually it probably will. So, Stephanie, it's recommended that you definitely send it into insurance, but know that they might not pay for it.
That's a good question, Stephanie, because as we all know, insurance is a little tricky to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, but just keep doing it.
Yes, I think that's important too. Like in our office, I'm not familiar. I don't pretend to be knowledgeable on the insurance side, but I don't know that we have any reimbursement for insurance in our state or in our office, the insurances that we use. So that's good to know that in Oregon, they are starting to cover.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with any other states that maybe are doing that? Or?
Yes, there are. I think Arizona has some coverage now. So just keep on, if you use it, just keep sending it in, because that's how it happens. And we do have the code.
That's great. So I'm going to ask you just a couple more questions, and then maybe at the end, we'll take some more questions from the audience. So as far as what your future is, what do you see yourself doing in the next couple of years, or what are your plans for that?
Okay. So, of course, I'm doing speaking, and I'm going to do more of that. I am working right now on a program that I'm going to put out at the first of the year, and this is going to include resources and a PowerPoint to help dental hygienists to get into long-term care facilities so they can provide care and educate. As part of that, I'll probably do some consulting with dental hygienists on how to start a business once they've started it, whatever they need help with. So that's the big one right now that I'm working on. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and
It's kind of like a
actually,
little roadmap for people that are wanting to
yeah,
do what you're doing in a way.
my and then my big lofty goal and dream is to get a dental hygienist and an operatory in every long-term care facility and every school.
That's awesome.
So,
Very
uh,
cool.
and I'm going to do that. And yay! I do have a website. It's milestosmiles.com. So it's MILESTWO smiles.com. I also wanted to say, I saw Anne said about the darkness. So, Anne, that the whole tooth doesn't turn dark, just the decay turns dark. And there are some things you can do, and I can tell you more about that in my course. I wanted to also tell everybody that in addition to being shy, um, the reason I'm telling you this is because I know a lot of people think that, oh, she's doing all these things, I can't do that. Um, you know, besides growing, I've suffered with depression over various times in my life, and um, anorexia, and have worked through those. So I know that you guys, everybody out there, you can do whatever you put your mind to, and to know that I'm just a regular person, just like the rest of you. So don't forget that. And myself and other people can help you all as well. Oh, hi, Andrew.
Hi,
Andrew
Andrew.
Johnston, at Tale of Two Hygienists. Yeah, those guys are great.
Yeah.
Um,
And you mentioned something earlier, Kyle, that I really thought a lot about because it's something I've experienced too, where you talk about you don't feel like you have really anything to offer. Who am I to go do this and do that? But for me, I think it's important once you step out of where you're comfortable with and you put yourself in another situation, it's a whole new world. And then you realize,
mhm.
wow, maybe I do know more than I thought I did, or you just
Right,
assume. You get so comfortable and so used to doing the same thing over and over, you assume that everybody else knows all this stuff, and what do I
exactly.
have to offer? But man, when you really step out of your comfort zone and you're put in this another situation, it's like, wow, maybe I do have a little bit of knowledge in areas that I didn't realize that I did, or that you could help other people. So I think it's important that part of the growth process is to constantly put yourself in different situations, and you're going to learn from them, but they're also hopefully be able to learn a little bit about what you have to offer too. And as far as self growth, it really opens your eyes to what you already knew, but you didn't even realize you knew. So I love that part of that too.
That is totally true. And I think we are always our own worst enemies. And if everybody can realize that we all have something beautiful inside of us, and something beautiful to offer, and the getting out of the comfort zone, if you just do one little thing, then you feel that success, then that will help you move on to the next little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And each time you do one little thing, it's going to get you closer to where you want to go. And if you look back like a year ago and look at where you were, and then look at where you are now. So every time you do one little thing, it gets you closer. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do something. I think our fear stops us from doing things. We all have to start somewhere, and you have to do it before you're perfect. And I think as dental hygienists, we have been pushed so hard to be perfect, get every speck of calculus, get every speck of stain, get all the plaque off, so that it prevents us from actually doing things because we want to wait until it's perfect. And there is no perfect. And if you wait, you're never going to do anything. So get that lofty, scary goal idea out there and just do it. Just get it going. Surround yourself by all these people that will support you on that. find a mentor and don't be afraid.
I think that's great. And that's the message that fits right along with the Roll Report. As you know, it hasn't been perfect. We've had some technical difficulties. But, like you said, we were just trained as hygienists to want to do everything. I mean, if you think about it, we're judged, we're graded every day by the dentist, by the parents, or, the patient, and we're constantly changing our role to fit 8 to 10 to 12 different personalities that we see every day, and we have to be flexible. And I'm glad you mentioned some of the things that you struggled with, because I, for one, I suffer from anxiety, and I think a lot of that is because the requirements that are put on you, and maybe not even by other people, but that we put on ourselves, because we want to succeed, and we strive for perfection. It starts in dental hygiene school, right? We can blame them. So
I think, definitely. I think that's one of the worst things that we've had to deal with, is that perfectionism part.
Because it's paralyzing. I mean, it's a lot of people are, I'm all or nothing. Like, if I know that I can't be the best, I'm not going to do it. But we have to realize the beauty in that process. We're never going to be the best. There's always going to be somebody that's better than us, and that's okay. We should reach out to those people that are, better, more successful, however you want to define that, to get their help to pull us up to where, where we want to be.
Exactly.
But we also need to be, I know Elijah's really big into that too, like always being, reaching back to help the person behind you. I think that's our obligation as, people that are maybe the faces of dentistry. I think that's an obligation that leaders have, is to help other people, and to set the tone for the people that are watching.
Definitely.
And I think you are doing a fantastic job at that. Like, you are amazing, and you're helping so many people, so many patients, but not only the public, but you're also a leader for us. And I thank you for that, because so many people look up to you, and so many people see value in what you're doing, and not, like I said, as a person too. And so you're very humble, which is awesome. You're just very, very giving and with a kind heart. And so I just thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend with us, and to share your story. And if we want to, maybe at the end, if there's anything else that you want to share, now would be the time. If you feel like you're like, oh yeah, I wanted to mention that, but you didn't know when to do that. So you can share that. And then maybe for the last 5 minutes or so, we'll take some questions from the viewers, and just kind of go from there.
All right. Yeah. I'm ready for questions.
Maybe
Thank you, Jen.
I have 2 windows open, so I'm trying to navigate between the chat and then our group here. Does anybody have any last minute questions about what she's doing, what, how to get there, or silver diamine fluoride, or anything like that?
And thank you, Kelly. Kelly's my friend here in Oregon. Woo!
Hey, Kelly.
Yes, Stephanie, don't let that fear of failure get in the way. Not at all. Oh, hi, Claudia. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Claudia, I am doing the Murado Allied Speakers and Consultants. And, yay, Andrew. And Claudia has started that. And I'm going there in February to learn more. What fee do you have to see an adult patient? Oh, for my, so I have private patients. Most of them are have memory problems. Remind me of that question in a second, Ann. So I charge $135 when I go to see one of my private patients. In our area, it's about $100 if you go to a dentist. So I'm not really charging that much when you think of my driving time and setting up time and unsetting up time and driving time. Yes, Lori, I can help you with that. And then I charge the $25 if I do silver diamine fluoride. Oh, Amy, are you going to be at Murado? Yay, I'll see you there. And then I also work for a company called ENDS, Exceptional Needs Dental Services, and they pay me. So it's a lower fee because those are Medicaid patients. I also work for the county, Benton County. I helped to start a pilot project here to also increase access to care for more people in facilities. And I get paid an hourly rate for them. So you can say I have 3 different ways of getting paid. And there was something about Anne asked me a question. Oh, can I make a living? Well, I'm doing it, but I also have a lot of jobs. Besides being a young clinical rep, I'm a water pick professional educator. I temp on occasion. And like this next week, I'm going to be temping 4 days, but last week I didn't temp at all. I work for the county part-time. I have my private business. I work for End, and I am definitely making it work. I don't have any benefits. So I'm going with some faith, and I quit my 4-day-a-week job in August, knowing that that place was not taking me where I wanted to go. It was not doing anything for me. Yes, Charlotte, and that is part of the reason why I have not done much with Plaque HD or Burst, even though I love both of those products and I recommend them. I am the jack of all trades.
Yes, you are. It sounds like it.
Part of it is because I love doing all of it, and it makes my work really enjoyable because I'm doing so many different things and not that tedious same thing all day long in a dental office. I hope I got all the questions.
And then Lori said, how to start, asked how to start.
Yes. So, Lori, I am having this program that's coming out in January, and I'm not sure, which state are you in? Where do you live? Yes, you do have to hustle now to be comfortable later. And I do love the variety. So, Lori, I can help you with that. And part of it has to do with what your practice acts are. And my article, I have another article coming out in RDH Magazine in April. And part of that is going to help New York. Okay. Help people to get their foot in the door of, New Jersey. In New Jersey, can you own your own business? I'm not sure. I think you can. Can you? Can you work without a dentist? Maybe she'll come back. Both. Oh, cool. No. Oh, no.
Both to New Jersey and New York, and
no. Oh, I see. Yeah, so my article in April is going to help people get into facilities and do hopefully some creative things that even if you can't own your own business or you can't provide direct services, you can do some things. And hopefully we can start changing some of those practice acts. Supervised in New Jersey. We have prescriptive supervision in Indiana. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit more work in Indiana. Supervised, so that means you have to have a dentist there with you? Or does that mean that you have to just have a dentist have examined the patient at some point? I'm not sure about New Jersey. I'm really lucky here in Oregon. I don't have to have a dentist look at the patient ever. I have to refer them annually, but they don't have to go. But there are creative ways. And there's also Angie Stone has High Life, which can help people get into facilities. And if anybody is struggling with trying to figure out what to do, yeah, Jen's coming here to Oregon. Woohoo! I can work without in New Jersey. Oh, awesome. And I have to have a dentist exam within 7 months. Okay. So, it's a little bit more restrictive, but it can be done. And I will have that program coming out in January, so that can help you. And I'm here if you have more questions. What was the other thing I was saying before that? Now I forget.
But I think a good resource, like you've said, is just to get familiar with your practice act in your state. utilize your skateboard as much
Yes.
as you can to get educated, to know what your restrictions are, and then reach out to
Yes.
some people, locally,
Yes.
or some people like you that are willing to help, get that path going for the people that want to do like you.
Definitely.
But
Definitely. And like Kelly just said, it can be baby steps, and it has taken me a while. So you start, you might have to start slowly. Um, and when with the program that I have, it's going to have a PowerPoint presentation that you can use to go into facilities. Not only will you be able to start educating the CNAs and the administrators, but you'll also gain some great skills like speaking, and that might help you if you want to get out of the op to do something else. I was the other thing I was going to say, if anybody wants to do something else and they're afraid, they have this fear getting in the way, I highly recommend working with Jamie Freitag Dooley. And of course, Doug Perry, he's helped me with my website. He's great with resumes, so I highly recommend that. But anybody who wants to reach out to me privately, I'd love to help them. I will have resources in my program that comes out, so I can help you with that as well.
And then Kyle, if you want to give us your website one more time.
Okay, it's milestosmiles.com. Miles, TWO, smiles.com.
Awesome. Well, you have done an awesome job today, and thank you so much for, like I said, taking the time out of your day to interview with us, and you've provided a great amount of information to everybody. So I'm just very thankful for your ability to join us and your willingness to join us, and I'm sure everybody else is too. You've gotten some really good feedback. So anyway, you've provided some of your, you've made it clear that if anybody has any questions, feel free. You're very approachable, and you're willing to help, as we've all been able to see today. So I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by these comments that are popping up.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. And yes, Jen, I'm looking at January 1st. Yes, Lori, make sure you contact me. I'd love to talk with you. And yeah, Jamie's pushing me. January 1st.
Well, this has been very awesome. So, like I said, thank you so much for joining us, Kyle. And I apologize to you and the viewers about the technical difficulties that we experienced. But thank you for everybody that's kind of stayed with us, and for you for being patient with us, Kyle. So,
thank you guys.
It should be uploading, for people to view later. So, if anybody has any questions, then they want to reach out to Kyle. She's offering to help you directly if you just want to send her a private message or visit her. Do you want to give an email, or do you just want to do the Facebook?
Either way. And my email is KJULIN, as in Nancy, @gmail.com.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kyle. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
So, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and end the interview, and it will be reposted later. So, thank you, everybody.
All right.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.